Hello there, welcome back to my channel, it's James here. Hope you're doing okay. I'm okay, I'm good. Right, today we're going to talk about Hoya. We're just literally going to go through my Hoya collection. I've been more obsessed than usual with them recently, so there are a couple of new acquisitions, but I just wanted to talk about them for a sec because I feel like they never really get as much attention. I mean, it's getting more and more, but they don't get as much attention as my aroids. And I like them just as much, most of them, so they deserve it. Right, this is not everyone. This is everyone who is in some kind of solid substrate. I have quite a lot of water propagations at the moment, but I'll just talk about those at another time. So for now, we can just focus on these, and I will come back with an update. There are quite a few, so I'm going to get into it, because otherwise this video is just going to get super long, and we're just going to look at them and enjoy them for a second and give them the spotlight they deserve, because they are absolutely wonderful. Right, let's start with the sad one. Right, here we have a Hoya. This is going to be a very interesting video because I really struggle remembering them when there's any kind of pressure on, but it is going to work. So, saying that, I've completely forgotten this first one's name. This is definitely struggling. I have these in Pearlite. Last time I did a Hoya video, a lot of people asked me about the Pearlite. I don't use it as a permanent substrate at all. It's a really nice way to get some good roots on my Hoya, so I have like a little bit of sort of passive hydroponics going on, so there's a layer of water and nutrients at the base, and it kind of just moves up through capillary action and keeps the roots nice and hydrated, which is exactly what I want. So yeah, why am I forgetting? I remember the other name. This is the Hoya Sigitalis. So Sigitalis SLTI, I'm not sure which one is more used. I've seen Sigitalis more. Yeah, I'm not going to show you too much because where is the side? I've got a slightly different setup here, and I'm used to having the camera lens here, but it's now here. So this is Hoya HOYA. It's not looking great. I've had it literally for about 6 months, maybe a little bit longer, and it has struggled in the same way all the way through. So I'm not sure what's going on, but hopefully it will. I only moved it into Pearlite about 3 weeks ago, so hopefully it does a little bit. It's not dead yet, which is great. Next one, all of these first ones are in Pearlite, so I'll just show you all the Pearlite propagations. I've shown this in a recent video as well. This is Hoya vitellinoides. This is the large, or no, sorry, I think it's Meredithii, I think, but it is a large leaf Hoya. This is a cutting of it, so it's not as huge. Next one, again, I showed this in a recent video, is in really, really like gross Pearlite, and I just haven't got around to swapping it. So it's like a small leafed, very, very pretty kind of delicate Hoya, and I really like it. It's doing some amazing growing at the moment. Again, as soon as, well, I already should have done it, but this will be moved into a more like permanent substrate in just a sec. Sorry, I'm moving through this quite quickly. Last one in Pearlite. Oh no, there are loads more in Pearlite, but I'll leave those ones to the end because they're far away and I'm lazy. This is Hoya praetorii, and it is that sort of freestanding, not so viney Hoya that I spoke about before. It's got some amazing roots going on. Basically everything in this video needs water, and it has a peduncle. Can you see that? It's almost about to bloom, which is super exciting. So yeah, and some new growth in the middle. I love this one, really, really love it. Okay, let's move on to some things that are potted up in other things. I have them in a mixture of stuff. Some of them are in sphagnum. That was, again, just for rooting purposes and haven't moved them out because I'm lazy, but a lot of them are in some form of airy substrate, very similar to what I use for my aroids. So this first one, which definitely needs something to grow up anyway. This is my Hoya caudata. I think I didn't have a name on it when I bought it. It was just caudata, but I think it is, I don't know, maybe the gold. I have no idea. I don't know what I'm talking about. Very, very pretty leaves, very textured, nice sort of silver splash. I love the splash on the leaves, super pretty. It's doing some amazing growing at last. Yeah, I definitely need to get it something to climb up, but at the moment it's kind of just trailing along the windowsill doing its thing. Super pretty, would recommend. Oh, this is going to get awkward very fast. Let's put it down. Okay, next one, again, one that I've had for a long time, has done no growing until very recently. This is a Hoya carrii splash. I think it's just much, much prettier than the other carrii, in my opinion. It didn't do any growing because I had it in a spot that was way too dark. I don't know why. I kind of didn't prioritize it and it didn't do anything, which is what happens. So I now have it on a really bright south-facing windowsill, and it has started to do some good growing, although it obviously means that I do have to water more regularly. Next one, this is Hoya Finlaysonii, I think. There are a couple that look very, very similar. I think this is the Finlaysonii, but it's just gotten a new leaf here as well. And the trick with this one, again, was really, really bright light, because I had it in warmth, I had it in humidity, but it was just about a foot too far back from the window. These leaves are dusty, that's gross. Again, that kind of veiny Callistophila-esque leaf with a little bit less definition in the veins. Speaking of Callistophila, here she is. This is, yeah, she's at last started putting on some new growth. Like you can see, I said in my last video that it was very, very slow, and it is very, very slow. It doesn't seem like it's got yet that vining habit that some of the other Hoya have, but I'm loving it. Very, very satisfying, long textured leaves, and I think these ones will probably get a fair bit bigger as well. Still very, very soft. So really, really nice. Oh, by sphagnum. And this one is potted up in like perlite, orchid bark, a little bit of sphagnum, and I think that's it. Yeah, very airy. Next, we have Hoya deckii, which is actually one of my favorites at the moment. I think it's got all the good things about the Hoya carrii, and then a little bit more veiny, a little bit more splashy, super pretty. That new leaf is really cool. It's got like an extra little buckle in there. Really, really nice. Yeah, very easy to grow as well. I feel like it's quite a fast one compared to a lot of the others. Super nice. Next we have, this is very quick. I hope if it's too quick, too bad, because I'm doing it like, yeah. This is Hoya bella albomanginata. I think it has another name, but I can't remember it. It also has a little inflorescence coming through there. But yeah, really nice. Delicate leaves. No, oh yeah, there is some leaf growth coming through there. So that is cool. Hope it gives me some soon. That was like very, very small for that. I really like that bella. It's very pretty. I really want the one that is variegated on the inside. I think it's called the Louis Bois or something like that. But that is obviously in quite high demand at the moment. So for now I have this and I'm more than happy. Okay, cruising on through this. We have, I'd say relatively easy to find Hoya. This is a Hoya publicalis. I'm not sure which flower variant it is, but it is very, very pretty. And the leaf comes through this sort of darkish, you can't see me, this dark red with some splashes on, and it's just super satisfying and pretty. I love like the thick green of the leaves as well. Everything here I have for a reason. Like there are none of these Hoya that I'm not a huge fan of, sorry. Minus one, which we'll talk about when we get there. But I still really like it, just less than the others. This is Hoya ficii, which has some really dramatically long leaves, which I kind of wasn't expecting. I didn't know they got that long, and it's now got a crazy little vine going up, which needs a little bit of support. I know, I will put it on support, don't worry. But I am glad that it is doing stuff, because it didn't do stuff for very long. Again, it was just a light thing, I think, for a lot of these. The ones that I have in my grow tent are absolutely loving life. But the ones that I have on my south-facing window are loving life just as much. So I think wherever you can get bright light, we're good. This guy, I thought was going to die. People spoke to me about having it in too big a pot. I said this in my last video, but this vine here, I've wound it up like a lot inside the pot. It was very, very long. It was growing in my grow tent, and it was growing up all the side of the grow tent, so I had to wind it up. That's why I have it in a pot this size. I don't think it's too big for it, and it is growing for me, so I think it is okay with it. But yeah, this is Hoya Michelle. Very nice splashy leaves. That one, I think this leaf is on its way out. It started to get these little blotches. I don't know what that comes from, but it has a newish leaf here and then a brand new one growing there. So we are good. And I will give it some support at some point. None of my Hoya have really got to the point where they're like super desperate for support. But some of them, Cordata and Ficci, I could definitely do with a bit. Okay, this is my least favorite at the moment. It's still really nice, but it's annoying me because of the way it arrived. This is Hoya polyneura. It's the only large Hoya I have at the moment. All my other large Hoya I've cut up and are propagating. So I have some Hoya imbricata propagating. I have some more Curtisii, a load of different ones like that. This is polyneura. It's the fishtail Hoya. And it arrived, I got it at quite a cheap price for what they are. Like you see cuttings, I've seen cuttings on eBay recently for like 10, 20 pounds. And this whole plant was, I think, 25. So it's pretty good. But it did arrive with mealybugs, thrips, I think that was it. Yeah, I think that was it, but that was nasty. So I blitzed it with all the sprays, and I had it isolated outside, and I can't see anything. It's been about 3 weeks since I've been able to see any pests on it, so I am cautiously optimistic, but I'm still keeping it outside. This is the only time that it's come in since I got it. So let's keep it just a little bit distant from everyone else. I love it though. I think like once it starts growing and it's recovered from the pest, I will enjoy it a little bit more. I'm just cautious of it at the moment. Right, we're getting some of my favorites at the moment. So this one is a small cutting of a Hoya Rinzii Borneo. which is again just like a dark green splashy leaf. I don't think that's a really great example of what the leaves look like, but it is super pretty, trust me. It's kind of got a matte texture to it. It's really, really nice. And this one is in my grow tent, and those aerial roots are doing all sorts of amazing stuff. So I'm happy with that. I think it's safe to say that it is adapting well to the cutting life. Next one we're going to talk about, another cutting. This is Hoya Nicholsonii. I've again never had to say that out loud. I might be missing a syllable. Nicholsonii. Anyway, New Guinea Ghost, and it is a very, very beautiful grey splashed Hoya. It's kind of just looks like a pale blue leaf, but if you look closely you can see some of the darker green behind, hopefully. Yeah, super pretty. Definitely one of my favorites at the moment, and I'm again, it's adapting well to this life in my grow tent, so that's amazing. Two more I think to talk about. Is that it? Wow, that's gone quite quickly. Let's talk about this little one in the pot first, and we'll finish with my current favorite. So this one is Hoya carnosa Wilbur Graves. It is quite lightly variegated for a Wilbur, not variegated, splashed for a Wilbur Graves, but I saw the mother plant and it had some very, 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 very splashy leaves, so I'm confident that it is a Wilbur Graves. But yeah, it's really nice. Even like, it's still quite splashy, but even just the amount that there is there, it's just very, very pretty, I think. So I am excited to see how this one grows. This one I've only had for about 3 days, so it hasn't had time to put out any roots. My voice is still really bad. I don't know if you can hear. I don't know what's happened to it, but the past couple of weeks has been very like raspy. Okay, is that everyone? We have one more to talk about. Yep, this is my little prop bag that I have hanging in my grow tent, because this cutting that was sent to me, it was cut in the wrong way, so the longer part of the stem was up stem, if that makes sense, and the shorter part was below stem, so it was difficult to put it in perlite or water or anything, so I just have it in a bag of sphagnum. Let's take it out. I haven't actually taken it out in like a week or so. Oh yeah, I don't know, I'm not going to pull the sphagnum off because I don't want to damage it, but maybe at the bottom there you can see some roots. Maybe there. It's really not wanting to focus on this, is it? This is so weird, silly. Anyway, this is a Hoya pulchra, and you can see the really, really pretty reddish purple backing to the leaves, and then a dark, dark green leaf surface. And yeah, it's super, super nice. And the roots are doing all sorts of amazing things. So I'm going to put it back in there. Just dropped it. And let it do some more rooting. And as soon as it has some more significant roots, I will stick it in some perlite, probably, because I think that's in my experience, that's been the best way to get good roots on Hoya. That went quickly. I was expecting this to go longer. Maybe it is quite long and I just kind of spaced out while I was doing it, but hopefully you enjoyed that. I hope I didn't really spend very much time on them. This wasn't so much a care. Let me just, there we go. This wasn't so much a care video as it was, this is a good moment to talk about this. This is what I do when I'm propagating in sphagnum. I just fill the bag up with a little bit of moist sphagnum, and then I blow up the bag and have the cutting inside just so it's not pressed against the sides. I've done it for a long time and it's one of the best techniques for like small cuttings and stuff like that. Yeah, I didn't really give any care tips. It wasn't super about that. It's just kind of, I'm really enjoying Hoya at the moment, so I wanted to talk about some of the lovely ones that I have in my collection. The care on these, let's just take a second to talk about that. Why not? Because it is a plant video. I basically just give them all the same care. I know that there are some Hoya that thrive on slightly different, slightly higher humidity, maybe cooler, warmer temperatures. But for the moment, I have everyone in the same conditions and everyone is showing new growth. So that is what counts, I think. Like as I get more into Hoya, as I start to understand them a little bit better, I'm sure I'll want to adapt things a little bit. But for now, I'm very content with the progress that I'm getting. So I water when they're very, very dry, like so dry, like crispy dry, which is something that I didn't do for a long time, and that has absolutely revolutionized how they grow and how much they rot, because I was losing a lot of Hoya over the winter, particularly to rot. And bright sun, bright lights, I have them all on windowsill, so none of them are set back from the window at all. So a couple of them are in like a east-facing window, but most of them are in a south-facing window. And they like all my grow tent, and they really, really like it. And I fertilize with spray and with like in the medium or in the perlite, just with liquid gold leaf. So I hope that's helpful. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. It's been a while. I missed last week because I was away, but I'm back now. So hopefully I will get videos out again every single week. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. If you want to check out updates on these plants, check out my Instagram at slugplants. I post there pretty regularly. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, give it a thumbs up. Super, super helpful. And thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.